Hello everyone and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. Why do I not have this right now? That is the wrong title. Transform. Of course it hides on me. Okay, so I hope that everything is fine audio-wise for everyone. Let me actually just ping real quick. And I can close my little program for now. Alright, just checking a couple of things here. So first of all, now I actually need to pick somebody. So we have left off just after meeting with Anna? No, we had just left off with the investigation, I suppose it was. We were at the farmhouse with Bryce, whatever. We almost got blown up, but we didn't. We also went to see a dean, and we also went to... maybe it was deliver the eggs. I can't remember what we did exactly. Shadow in particular said he would be here, now he's just not at all. Hi Justin, thank you for finally dropping by. Of course the stream just starts and then it's empty. So I'm going to be asking you until anyone else really shows up, which reminds me to leave my phone if that happens. Oh well, if you've been here the entire time, then why has it been so quiet for the last 5 minutes? You wanna go meet with the dean? Okay. That was our status, by the way. We have talked to her. We have not talked with Bryce or Remy. I need to go ping my new friend. Oh, no, never mind. He's in a game. Alright. So far it's just Justin who's actually in chat. Seawolves was here for a minute. Alright, so this is the second visit with the dean, since I don't think anyone else is actually here. So, this should be the right address. I'm coming! Oh, it's you! I was expecting someone else. You're a little early. Yeah, I didn't know how long it would take me to get here. Better early than late, right? You know, I'm glad they decided not to send you away after all. Me too. Look at that, it's Emily. And who might that be? I guess I did kind of spoil that. This is Emily. She's one of the kids I work with. Hello, Emily. Say hi, Emily. Hello. I just have to bring her back to the orphanage real quick. Feel free to make yourself at home in the meantime, okay? Sure. You met Emily! Did that bring it up in the status already? Yes, it did. Interesting. Okay. So this is where you live, Nadine. Small but cozy. I'm back! That was quick. Being able to fly does have its perks, you know. Wait, you flew her back? Well, I am a delivery flyer. She doesn't get scared or anything? Not at all. She's such a brave little girl. So what exactly is it that you do at the orphanage? I'm a volunteer. I help out with them whatever they need, and sometimes take care of the kids. We only have so many social workers. The ratio is about 1 social worker for every 10 children or so. So it's good for the kids to spend some time on one-on-one with someone they know. I guess you could almost call it babysitting, but for kids, we basically become foster parents. The older the kids get, the less likely they are to be adopted. She might be too old to be considered soon. Alright, Justin, I'm gonna have to poke at you for a bit. Is that a shame? You can see why, or you'd adopt her if you could. Well, I guess you do. You can see why. I'm literally not seeing anyone else right now on my friends lists and stuff, so this is just up to you, Justin. Until otherwise. If you do arrive, whatever, please say in chat if you're here or something. I'm just kind of desperate right now. What do you mean? She seems like... What? Did we say that right? I can see why. Okay, so what do you mean? Yeah. She seems like an annoying little brat. I certainly wouldn't let one of those into my home. Oh, Justin, you rotten person. How can you say that? I'm just being honest. Oh, is that why, Justin? You know, sometimes honesty is not the best policy. Someone has to look out for her. I'm worried about what will happen to her if she doesn't find a family. We'll still take care of her, of course, but it's not quite the same as having parents. I'd adopt her myself, but I don't think I could care for her properly. Not as a single parent with my packed work schedule. I still volunteer as often as I can, because if I don't, who will? Someone needs to be there for the kids. Alright, Justin, let's see if you can correct your mistake. Is she wasting her time? It's very nice of her, or someone else would probably volunteer, even if she didn't. I can just already see this ending now with Adine also in a bad status with us. Well, Justin, it is basically up to you. Someone else would probably volunteer even if you didn't. Maybe, maybe not. The only thing I know for certain is that they could use all the help they could get. Anyway, let's talk about something less depressing. Ooh, shots fired. Like what? Let me think. Oh, I just remembered that someone died here recently. Here in your apartment? No, not here, silly. It was close though, barely a block from here. Right, the murder of the maintenance guy. I remember that. Wait, it was murder? I didn't know that. I thought it was an accident or something. That's terrible. Sorry for mentioning it. Finding the first victim was already bad enough for me, and now I have to hear there was another murder in town. I wish I could get some good news for once. Right, at least it wasn't you who was murdered. Don't be so sensitive, or don't focus on the bad things. Again, I'm gonna have to poke at you, Justin, because no one else is here. Nope. Doing stuff. There we go. Okay, Justin says, don't focus on the bad things. Just don't focus on the bad things. It's no use lamenting something you can't change. Sorry, Cabbage. I guess I should be more positive. It's just not always easy, you know? Maybe you'll get some good news soon. I hope so. That reminds me, I've got something I wanted to try on you. Try on me? It's nothing too dramatic. I just read this magazine the other day and I found a few interesting articles. Using her partial hands, she held up a magazine to show me its cover. A rather bold-looking female was presented on the front, adorned with trinkets like rings and jewels. Various headlines gave me an idea of the content within. It reminded me a lot of a typical gossip magazine back home. Lifestyle. The magazine for modern people? This issue even came with a set of fortune cards. Alright, Justin. Are you not sure what to expect? Those types of magazines are usually trash, or I'm not sure they're qualified to determine our fate. Which I suppose they technically are qualified. I mean, technically, since it is a game, and cards within a game and everything. Just waiting on Justin or anyone else who happens to pop in. And also trying to ping someone else. It shows he's online, but he's not responding. At least I appreciate just sitting here listening to music while I wait for Justin. Alright, 2. Seriously? Those magazines are usually trash? Alright. Come on, don't knock it before you try it. What should we look at first? Alright, Justin. Don't care, you decide, or throw the stupid magazine in the trash. I mean, you're on a roll already. I don't know if Justin is even paying attention or if he's just spouting random numbers at this point. Well, this is going slow enough that I'm gonna be using some dice for a little bit. Unless somebody else gets in, Justin picks up a bit something. So, Justin, I am really sorry, Justin, but this is kind of following your theme here. My dice say to throw the stupid magazine in the trash. Seawolves, hello! Thank you. Do you have an opinion here, Seawolves? Right, before I go with the Dice's answer here, I'm just gonna ask Seawolves real quick if he wants to answer here. Have you been here recently, Seawolves? Do you know what's going on, or do you need me to just recap this here? Okay, sure. Without going back over, we're meeting with Adine here, and she took her orphan foster child. She's kind of taking care of the child back to the orphanage before we go on a date here. And she's already come back, and we were talking a little bit about Amelie. Justin kind of flat out insulted Amelie. I don't think he intended to, but yeah, he's just kind of answering, probably too busy on Apex Legends, that's saying, just throw the stupid magazine in the trash. Very funny, Cabbage. Here's this article, talks about dreams and what they can mean. Have you had any strange or recurring dreams lately? Alright, Seawolves, Justin, if Seawolves is even actually here, that is. Excuse me. So, my dreams are usually nonsense. I've been dreaming of fire. I don't dream at all, or dreams are often about people I know. And I should rephrase that for you guys. Are your dreams usually nonsense? Are you usually dreaming about fire? Do you usually not dream at all, or are your dreams often about people you know? So Seawolves, okay, Seawolf says usually nonsense. I'm tempted to not even wait on Justin because he's probably not even going to answer for the next 30 minutes. So, dreams are usually nonsense. According to this article, that means you're a really creative person. Good to know. What about your dreams? It kind of feels like they're different every night. Most of them are nonsense, but sometimes I dream of people I used to know. What do you make of all this? Alright, Seawolves, Justin. Is it all a bunch of baloney if she were to ask you? Or, yeah. Alright, first one. My dreams are so interesting, they must mean something. Aw, poor Adine. Or maybe they don't mean anything at all. You're overthinking it. Oh, wow, we are just being so rude to Adine right now. I'm just saying that there's got to be a reason they exist. Even the article concludes that scientists haven't figured out why exactly we dream. It's a big mystery. Alright, let's move on. Oh, I thought you meant moving on from the magazine. Don't be such a sourpuss. There's something interesting stuff in here. Shall you reserve judgment on that? Do you think we can hit the trash can from here? We should try it. Or, that dream stuff wasn't so bad. I don't have an optimistic outcome for this right now. Okay, the rude room for Seawolves. Okay, maybe you didn't like this first article, but wait. Just wait for what I'm going to show you now. What's next? A personality test. Didn't you always want to know what kind of relationship would suit you? I already know what I want in a relationship, or rather, you do, YouTube. I'd like to see a close relationship between this magazine and the trash can, or sure, why not? I almost feel like that Justin is just going to be crying after this because he was trying so hard with the Dean and, or sorry, Anna and everything, and now all of a sudden we're just being so rude to a Dean. Second one, close relationship between magazine and trash can. Why do you have to be like that? You don't have to take this seriously, but at least have some fun with it. But I'm already having so much fun. Okay, first question. In a relationship, what role do you take? Do you prefer to take the reins? Do you think your partner should be the leader? Or do you like to switch it up every once in a while? Alright, Seawolf wants the first one. My cat is stepping on my keyboard. I'll have a chance to make it almost the end. Are you talking about way at the end, Justin? The end of the stream? Peace and quiet. Alright, I guess I won't bother you too much, Justin. Sorry about that. So, Seawolf says the first one. Take the reins. Is that so? Ooh, that look. That smirk. Moving on to the next question. Wait, aren't you going to answer the question too? I'll take the test after you. I don't want to keep track of both our scores at once. Alright. Question number 2. What is your favorite dessert? Alright, Seawolves, and technically I could ask Justin, but if he needs peace and quiet. Is your favorite dessert chocolate cream cake, lemon ice cream with sprinkles, coconut souffle, red hot chili cookies, or what does this question have to do with relationships? Last one? Alright. Oh, just answer it. Alright. I have some dice here if you would rather leave this one up to chance, Seawolves, but I'm curious. What is your answer? What a coincidence, that's exactly what my dice says too. An all-time classic. Who doesn't like chocolate cake? Here's the next question. What is your dream job? Farmer, business person, or stay-at-home parent? Farmer, right? Some people believe that kind of lifestyle is very idyllic, but I think it would also be a lot of work. How many more questions are there? That's all of them. Now, to look up the results. Oh, it says here that the results are outlined in the weight loss booklet that came with the magazine, but I already threw that away. Why'd you do that? You clearly needed it. What a shame. Or, I guess we'll never find out what kind of a relationship would suit us, you. First one? Alright. Do you think so? Oh, poor Adine, that poor look in her eyes. Oh, that makes me feel so bad. Alright, I've got to screenshot this. That poor face. Yeah. Oh well. But we did get the best part. But now we get to the best part, sorry, the fortune cards. Alright, Seawolves, do we really have to do that? You know that stuff's not real, right? Or, that's what I was looking forward to. I wonder if the text-to-speech here works. I don't think it's working here. Let me just go up a second.
Audini, but now we get to the best part, the fortune cards.
Okay, so the text-to-speech does not answer
Self-voicing
the
disabled.
questions. Wait, turn that back on.
Do we really have to do that?
Oh yeah, it does work.
You know that stuff's not real, right?
Okay, so Seawolves wants the second one there.
That's what I was looking forward to. You know that stuff's not real,
Alright.
right?
I've got to listen to at least one line of this full-on text-to-speech.
Audini, I just want to try it out for fun. You need to be more open-minded.
Man, that really needs some work. but
Self-voicing
Thank you.
disabled.
I just want to, I just want to try it out. It's fun, you need to be more open-minded. How's that supposed to work anyways? I mean, they're just cards. How can they predict the future? Apparently there are different schools of thought regarding the use of fortune-telling cards. Cards themselves don't do anything, they're just a tool. So the information actually comes from somewhere else. But where though? Well, one interpretation is that it's our subconscious who gives us the answers that we seek. Similar to how dreams can be interpreted, and the interpretation of the cards is very dependent on the person itself, and the symbols they recognize in the cards' images. We recognize the images that are relevant to our lives, and that gives us an idea about ourselves and our current problems. However, that is just the most grounded interpretation out there. People usually associate something more paranormal with fortune cards. One of those explanations is that the cards are our way to communicate with a higher being, a paranormal entity that knows more than we do and can give us subtle nudges using the cards. And who would that be? The explanations range from ghosts to angelic beings, one even involved humans. Really? Oh yeah, Seawolves, I don't think you were here for basically any of the other things, but the general theory, thought, whatever regarding the people here, the dragons, is that the humans created the dragons. Did I read that last one? Yeah, people would say you could communicate with humans this way, right. And then there was also something called higher self. Higher self? How come you know so much about this? Because I read the article about it. Oh. Okay, what should I draw for you? Why don't I get to be the one who's, yeah, why don't I get to be the one who's reading the fortune? Because I paid for this magazine, so the cards are mine. Okay. So, what are my options? I could read your past, present, or future. Which is it, Justin? I mean, Seawolves. Justin's probably gone. What is it going to be? So, past, present, or future? Future? The predictions of the future is what most people associate with the readings. However, their purpose is to prepare the person in question for a possible future, rather than just predicting it. Oh my! What is it? The cards we've drawn and associated with drastic measures, particularly those with a final conclusion. This can be interpreted in many ways, but it can refer to death, the ultimate conclusion. It can also mean many other things, like a violent outcome of a brewing conflict, or a positive resolution with a long-running conflict. Oh, yeah, I would actually entirely agree with that. What do you think? Oh, yeah, well, here I go spoiling it. I think I know what this refers to. I exactly know what this refers to. Or, I wonder if you should be worried, or this is very generic. I suppose in a way it is probably very generic. I mean, how many games with supposed prophecies, predictions, and whatever is literally just that? So Justin thinks he knows what this is referring to? Alright. Really? How can you know about the future? Oh, I know about the future here. Let's just say I have a hunch. It mentioned resolutions to conflict that have been brewing, and there's definitely stuff brewing. I guess that's everything the magazine has to offer. Alright, Seawolves. This was certainly interesting, would you say that? Oh, can't read it for a second. Now you can finally put it in the trash where it belongs, or what a shame. What a shame. No, Justin, Seawolf, sorry. I thought you were trying to be rude to her. Oh well. Oh, it was the look, wasn't it? The eyes she gave? That got you, didn't it? I could try to find the diet booklet if you're that desperate to find out the personality test results. Please don't. Alright. Well, Alright, Seawolves, alright. So, do you have anything interesting going on at the moment? I can't imagine what ambassador life is like. It's been busy. I thought this whole thing would go by quickly and without any mishaps. But now it seems like there's always something happening. Oh, really? Yeah, I figured I'd come here, do the exchange, and leave again. But apparently it's not that easy. It never is. You speak like you've had experience as an ambassador. Well, no. But doing deliveries is similar. People order something, I fly to them, we exchange the products for payments, and then I go back. It's basically the same thing. Yeah, sure. But things always go wrong. For example, imagine you have 2 deliveries to make, and the first one goes smoothly, okay? I'm imagining it very hard right now. Alright, so you get to the destination of the second delivery, and they actually check what you're handing them. It turns out that you mixed up the orders, but you already delivered the first one. That's certainly not a pleasant situation to be in. Now you have to go back to the first family you delivered to, who by now have probably noticed that they got the wrong delivery and exchange what you gave for them for what they actually ordered. Right. But it turns out they didn't mind the mix-up. As a matter of fact, they have already started eating what they got instead. It's not so bad that they aren't angry, but now you can't exchange the orders anymore. So you have to fly back to the restaurant and get a second order remade. Happens all the time. As a result, the people waiting on the second order do get angry because their order has to be remade and delivered all over again. And the plot thickens. And they complain, and of course get their meal comped. The restaurant can no longer sell the first order, so you still have, so the order for both families are deducted from your paycheck, and you end up eating nothing but ramen all week again, just so you can make rent this month. That is unfortunate. And that's why you always have to double check your orders, because even a small mistake can have consequences reaching farther than you'd think. Sometimes we just have to learn the hard way. I guess so. Anyway, what else have you been up to recently? Do you remember the stunt flying competition I told you about? Of course. I assume your participation is a given by now? Actually, I'm not sure about that. I mailed the application earlier today, so hopefully it will arrive before the deadline. Or maybe I should just fly it over myself, while showing off a few moves, that is. You should fly over anyways, to make sure you get it in. It would be a shame if you couldn't enter because of a technicality. Yeah, I really should drop by. By the way, could you do me a favor? That depends on the favor, I suppose. It's kind of a long story, but there's something I need. You know, some people at the police station, right? Yes? I think they're in possession of a map related to an underground building they found. I've heard about that. Oh, that's great! Maybe you could get them to hand it over? It doesn't have to be the real thing. A copy would be just fine. What do you even need it for? Let's just say I'm interested in doing a little investigation of the place myself. What's so special about it? It's supposed to be the remnant of an earlier civilization. Or maybe even something created by humans. Who wouldn't be interested in that? Well, sea wolves? What, an actual human in front of you is not enough? We are humans in this game, by the way. Humans visiting the dragon world. You can think of a few people, or I'd like to visit maybe if I could. Myself if I could, sorry. Ourselves if we could. Last one? Alright. See, I think if you put your word in, we could easily make it happen. How do I even ask for something like that? You could always say that humanity is interested in it. Honestly, they probably would be. Could you ask them for me, please? And there's that face again. So guilty. Alright. We can try, think about it, or no. Let's just put up that face while we wait for an answer. Think about it, try, or just no. Randomly try a different route, alright? Okay, we can try. I won't promise anything, but I can certainly try. Thank you, that means a lot to me. I didn't know you were into archaeology. I wouldn't care as much if it turned out to be just some old building. The whole thing about it being made by humans is what's really interesting. Why is that? Well, the myths wouldn't be very mythical anymore if that was the case. We'd have proof. And that's so shortly after finding out that humans are, in fact, real. Yes, what a time to be alive. So you believe in all that stuff? Belief isn't the right word when you're standing right in front of me, you know. That alone is a miracle. I get excited all over again just thinking about it. Speaking of which, all this excitement made me lose track of time. Is it that late already? Oh, actually, I have places to be, especially if I want to make sure my contest application arrives on time. I guess I should be going then, huh? Yes, please do. That almost sounds like you want me to leave. Because I do. Seriously? What did I do? Besides acting like a jerk? Not much. Okay. You're just too sensitive, and your magazine was stupid. Whatever, I have to go now. Anyways, so please just leave. Wow. Another free day, yay me. Alright, Seawolves. So, with you being here, we have now, 3 choices. We can meet with Remy, we can meet with Lorem, we can meet with Bryce. We can no longer meet with Anna or Adine, because, stuff in the last 2 weeks, being just now and exactly a week before. And we did also meet with, Kevin just last week, so we can invite him over and learn about Dragon College. Otherwise, we could just get some rest, skip the next day. Okay, get some rest, alright. In the end, I decided to spend the day relaxing in my apartment. I didn't know when things would start to pick up again, so I figured it would be better to get some rest as long as I still could. Conflict. Can't remember what that card was awarded for. Oh, yes, I remember now. Pretty sure I remember. After a night of turbulent dreams, my consciousness returned to the shores of the waking world. Today is the day of the big fireworks. Who shall I bring? Go alone. Okay then. While I was sure any of those who would agree to watch the fireworks with me if I asked, I ultimately decided to go alone. Gee, I wonder why I decided to ultimately go alone. Not wanting to oppose on anyone if they hadn't asked me first. Okay, gee, I wonder why. After making some preparations for the day, I set out to experience these fireworks I had heard so much about. When I left my apartment, I realized just how eerily deserted the rest of the place felt. They really weren't kidding when they said everyone would watch the fireworks. I imagine there was a couple of designated places people gathered for this purpose. I had no doubt they were crowded beyond belief. While I waited for the fireworks to start, I looked at the area around me. With no soul in sight, I realized I hadn't actually spent many nights outside and was reminded of the day I had arrived here at my apartment in total darkness, with only Remy by my side. Soon, the total stillness was broken by the sound of the first rocket ascending, its explosion painting a circular pattern in the sky. More rockets followed, their quantity and frequency steadily increasing. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. I certainly kind of am. As the explosion spattered my ears, a terrible realization hit me. Considering how public of an event this was and how everyone would be watching, the fireworks, now would be the best time for Reza to make his move. By the way, Seawolves, I don't believe you know who Reza is. He is the other human here in the Dragon Worlds that everybody else knows about. And he is wanted for murder of 3 dragons, and the attempted murder of Maverick. And he was just trying to get a generator, whatever stuff happened, he just started murdering people, and we've been trying to help investigate and find him and bring him to justice, whatever. That's kinda not been going well, I guess. Reza makes his move. Not only was the village basically deserted, but the sounds of the fireworks would also overshadow any gunshots, giving him as much security as he would ever have. As the portal had been repaired by the administrator, that's the other human that no one but you knows about, Reza would have no trouble making his getaway, and I was the only one who knew. I ran to my apartment and briefly considered calling the police as I grabbed a few things. However, I soon remembered that they were already They were not only already understaffed, but that I might waste precious time if I tried to do so. I arrived at the portal just a few minutes later. I couldn't help but be glad that it was still turned off, and it didn't appear to be used recently. But it meant Reza was still here somewhere. Hi Justin, glad you're back basically in time for the conclusion. And I don't know if you caught it or not, Justin, but Adine is mad at us now. It was basically mostly Justin's fault right up until the end when he wanted to change and... not fast enough. I looked around, thinking about where he could be, or if it was worth waiting for him. Here when I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Oh, I see what you mean, Justin. Alright, yeah, this is, the dramatic conclusion anyways. Hesitating, I drew nearer. I checked Sebastian for any signs of life, and found nothing. However, his body was still warm. Rez was here very recently, but he hadn't used the portal just yet. Why? Sebastian's guard post was not just for the portal itself, but also the surrounding area. Since Reza was already here, he probably had some unfinished business very close by. The underground building, the administrator had told me about the prowess of the generators within. It probably hadn't been hard for Reza to guess the same or to try stealing them from the place. He knew it would be even more deserted than the rest of the village was right now. He also didn't have far to go to the portal. All things considered, it was the only option that made sense to me. I could have waited for Reza here, but in the end I decided that it would be better to meet him underground. If there was going to be a confrontation, I was sure I would have the advantage in a more crowded space. Even in the darkness, it was easy for me to spot the site where they had unearthed the building's entry. It was in a roped-off area that I had seen from afar before. Right, that's good, Justin. That's good. When I entered the building, I was met by a long, illuminated hallway that was lined with doors on both sides. Since the lights were already on, Reza had to be very close. I wasn't surprised at the building still having electricity, since the generators were also powering the portal. Suddenly, one of the doors opened, and out came Reza, carrying a large cardboard box. When he spotted me, he set it on the ground. Cabbage, you're here? You don't know how glad I am to see you. I've wanted to talk with you for so long. I even tried to contact you, but I couldn't with someone tailing you the whole time. But talking can wait. Now that you're here, we've got everything. Come on, help me with this, and let's get out of here. No. No? What are you talking about? I'm not doing anything until you answer a few questions. Want to talk now? Sure, why not? We've probably got a few hours if we wanted to. None of them will disturb us here. We could even get the backup generators as well, after we send this one over. When did you realize we were in the past? How did you know about the comet? I've known for a while. It's what I wanted to talk to you about when we first met at the portal. How about you? I only recently found out. Looking back, it just seems so obvious to me. I'm not sure how exactly you figured it out, but there's so many darn clues when you think about it. I mean, how could a supposedly completely different independent civilization speak the same language as us? What was that supposed to be? An alternate reality? No, it was just a different time. Yes, it has been a long time, and we will see him soon. After this, too. When was there ever anything resembling these creatures on Earth? It's not hard to make a jump from dragons to dinosaurs, when some of them here look pretty darn near identical to dinosaurs we knew about. Alright, sea wolves. And then there are also prehistoric fruits, the plants, and the fact that their technological level is nearly exactly the same as our own past society. But we don't even have to think that abstract. You just needed to look at the sky. The sun, the moon, even the stars are the same. Constellations change over time, of course. But you know, we could account for that stuff. You could have just pointed your PDA at the sky and it would have told you the time period, including the imminent threat of being eradicated. You could even see the meteorite in the sky and how it would change its position day after day. Are you done being condescending? I guess so. You killed those dragons, Reza. What a brilliant deduction, Sherlock. Why did you do it? Do you really need me to spell it out? I thought better of you. After I found out the truth about this place, I knew just waiting for the generators we were owed was not an option anymore. Yes, you kind of missed it. Well, it's not entirely your fault, because it was Seawolf's just intent on being rude for 95% of the entire conversation. So we basically just ended on terms of, please go now. You sound like you want me to leave. Yes, because I do. Alright, fine then. And your magazine is stupid. Just in a nutshell. It would have taken who knows how long, but I didn't intend to stay a day longer than necessary. You wouldn't believe how hard it was for me to acquire some generators. Some of the dragons didn't go down easily. But who cares that they got back the generators I stole? With just this one, we won't need any of the others. How could you do this? How could I do this? Let me ask you this. What harm is there really in taking their generators when their whole civilization will be gone in a few weeks? Anyways, the ones I killed just died a little earlier than scheduled. Even if that creep hadn't showed up and interrupted our meeting, we would have had a hard time for them to make generators for us. How about we don't just let them die? They aren't going to be extinct anytime soon, if that's what you're concerned about. I paid the hatchery another visit before I came here. With the right persuasion, I think we'll have plenty of reasons to keep at least some of them around. Bodyguards, border patrol, weapons, even as pets or companions, as long as we make the necessary changes. See, it's not as bad as you might think. I'm not going to just abandon them like that, only for their whole civilization to be wiped out. Get your priorities straight, cabbage. Next, you'd rather starve because you suddenly empathize with a steak, and you're not satisfied with starving by yourself. No, you're going to let all of us starve because you want to impose your morals on everyone. Since when do you think that you get to have a say in this? You know why you're here, and your proposing is treason, and you know the consequences. Personally, I don't mind if you want to stay here. You know, I don't care about corporal punishment. Just let me through, and you can do whatever you wish. I can't do that, Reza. I see how it is. They told you they need this generator to stop the comet hub, and now you've become their lackey. Don't tell me you've been drinking up what they've been telling you. You know they have as much vested interest in this whole thing as humanity does, and that I and you do, or at least used to. Do you think they wouldn't do the same thing if their family is on the line instead of ours? Their entire world is on the line here. And they live in perfect harmony, with their perfect green energy source, and no reason for wars or conflict. Yada yada yada. We had that too, and you know what happened then? Of course you do. This is such an idiotic trope, you know. Random person meets weird natives, learns their ways, and then ends up saving them. What do they need for you, huh? Maybe they're going to be extinct for a reason, if they can't even save themselves. You know of our sufferings, yet we'll let them have it? I don't care what happens to them, but unlike you, I was at least trying to save humanity. At any cost. We have the right solution right here, and you want to get philosophical now? Don't you think we deserve it? They've had it for who knows how long. Now it's time for us. Not like this. Do you think I like it? If there was a different way, I wouldn't have spent the last few weeks doing what you didn't. We don't live in this fairy tale world of yours, where there's a perfect solution to everything. You should know that. Just being here for a few weeks must have messed you up. I think I know why. You got too used to all the comforts they have here. You don't actually care if they all die back home, do you? As long as you can stay here in this perfect little world of yours, you have discarded everything and everyone back home and replaced it with this. Maybe it is because you just don't have a real life back home. I can even understand that a little. Of course it would be nice to just stay here where they have everything that we don't. But being here also reminded me of everything I hated about our world, as it used to be. The pettiness and the politics. Say about the solar flare what you want, but it leveled the playing field and gave people like us a chance to make a difference. For all our efforts, what did we get? A vote that was meaningless in a sea of stupidity and lies. Now everyone has to pull their own weight. We make the rules. You, of all people, should understand. Of course, they wouldn't. They haven't experienced how it is to live like we do now. To see the world burn and everyone you know die around you. Because I have, I won't let the same thing happen to them. How many do you think died back home just in the 2 weeks that you've been here? Because we don't have a powerful hospital, huh? Do you think those victims aren't worth mentioning? Or do you just care about the few dragons I killed? Our city is the last bastion of a civilized society in a world where nothing else is left. Maybe you have forgotten about them, but I haven't. How many of us do you think will still be there in a month, a year? Or are they just a statistic to you? The same could be said for the dragons. What do you want to do? Talk me down from this? And then what? It's too late anyways. You think they're just going to let us go after what I've done? That chance. Whatever you may think, you'll find that our leaders back home agree with my course of action. Why are you telling me this? Because I expect you to join me. That's not going to happen. And you call yourself an ambassador? This generator is the only thing that we need for our city to survive. How can you even argue about this? The dragons also need the generator, and I'll do what is necessary to stop you if I have to. So that makes you judge, jury, and executioner. What a wonderful set of morals you have, New Cabbage. We only need to wait until the comet has passed safely. You think you can stop the comet? And you need this generator to do that? Sure, and if your plan fails, then not only is this world gone, but we also lose any and all hope to save our own. We are so close now, we can't risk anything by waiting for your crazy plan when back home they are dying by the minute. I will not let you. You only want to save your own two-faced hide because you don't want to face the consequences of what you did. Wait.
Self-voicing enabled. Raise it. Ha 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 ha. Self-voicing
text to
disabled.
speech is the best. Why are you laughing about this? Because it's a joke. Because it's a joke, it must be. I'm the one with the gun, and you thought you could just waltz in here and lecture me. Listening to you is fun and all, but the grown-ups must get back to work now. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't stop me now anyway. Actually, I can. I opened the cloak I was wearing to reveal an improvised bomb I had made from a generator. What is this? You showed me how to do it, with the little trap you set at the farmhouse. That wasn't intended for you. It doesn't matter. You set it for someone. You set it to kill. Where do you even get a generator? After the police station reclaimed the generators you stole, it was easy for me to take one, when I was alone in the department, just in case. I set the bomb on the ground between us, with it and me between Reza and the exit. He would have to listen now. So, what's the plan? I'll tell you what's going to happen. You leave the generator and turn yourself in. You know what? I think you're bluffing. If you set off a bomb, we not only do we have both die, but you destroy the generator as well, and with them any chance of saving either world. You would never do that. He pulled out his gun and pointed it at me as he slowly started closing the distance between us. What is it going to be, Cabbage? Killing us all, or just this world? Reza was right. In reality, the bomb provided no real leverage against him. If his goal was truly to save our city back home at any cost, he would not turn himself in, even if he threatened that setting the bomb off was a real one. His best bet would be to try to kill me now. I turned around and started running. No! I heard gunshots immediately, and I felt the most excruciating pain I've ever experienced resonate through my arm. And as I kept sprinting as fast as I could, I heard a beeping sound that made me realize I had inadvertently activated the bomb when I was hit. Out of bullets, Reza was not far behind me as we both scrambled towards the exit. As I just reached the outside, the bomb went off. The explosion battered my ears as the shockwave sent me flying. I collided with the ground and immediately felt a hail of debris. I cowered, waiting for it to die down. After a few seconds, I turned around and looked at the sky, where the fireworks still painted patterns in the stars. With one hand, I reached towards my injured arm, only to find it wet with blood from a bullet wound. My whole body was numb. But I could not give up now. I slowly got up, looking around the area to get some perspective of the situation. Not far from where I was, Reza was lying on the ground. He wasn't moving. By the way, Justin, you might have missed it earlier, but we also found Sebastian dead, shot. And now here's Reza, too. As I got closer, I spotted the gun next to him. I won't let them find this. I took it with me, hiding it in one of my pockets as I started making my way towards the portal with a slow and uneasy step. I was shaking and my vision was blurry. Every inch of my movement felt like a new and harder chore than the last. Eventually, my legs gave in and I collapsed to the ground. I resigned to my fate as I watched the night sky illuminated by colorful explosions and fireworks. Suddenly, I was lifted off the ground, and as I opened my eyes, I saw the massive face of the administrator. Oh. I just could not let it happen. I had to stop him. I had to try, somehow. The administrator started moving, carrying me. Unfortunately, it seems like the generators were destroyed as well. So this is how it ends? With humanity doomed to fade into history and the dragons facing extinction? All hope is not lost. It never was. What are you going to do? I'm going to send you back in time. We'll just have to try again, and maybe we'll do better next time. You hear that, Justin? This is going to be your second chance with the Dean. By now we had arrived at the portal. The administrator gently set me down before moving towards the portal's controls. You'll probably forget most of what happened. The teleportation tends to do that. Sometimes, especially when someone is transported several times in quick succession. Maybe you'll remember a thing or two, and maybe they'll help you do better next time. Maybe. I'll see you on the other side. I heard the sound of the portal starting to do its work as the numbness and pain suddenly left my body. Things I had experienced and things I hadn't flashed across my mind as I was teleported. I felt free. Alright, I'm just gonna let the credits roll by real quick. I suppose I might have something in just a few minutes. But until then, I hope you enjoy the artwork, I suppose, because it is different with every different ending. I personally just really love this game. It is so fantastic. You're wrong about that, Justin. It was Reza who took the kids. Twice. In fact, you might have also missed it. Reza was talking about keeping some of the dragons for bodyguards, pets, companions, whatever. Just, I guess, generic slavery. Nadine or Lorem? I suppose you're talking about who to have met instead. Yes, detonation, that's fantastic. Alright. You've seen the neutral ending. You experienced just one of many different endings in Angels with Scaly Wings. In order to see the story's conclusion, you will have to play the game a number of times. Minimum of 6 times. During the next playthrough, you may want to make a different choice. You may even want to find the information you've gained this time to be helpful. Can't bring up the menu, right? Sometimes you might even notice that prior choices have changed a character or aspect of the game's world permanently. At any rate, feel free to employ the game's skip buttons, Control and Tab, generously, as by default they will only skip text that you have already seen, making subsequent playthroughs much more palatable. Can you find all the different endings I have before? It begins. You've seen your first ending. Excellent. Alright. Are you guys ready for the next ending? Continue your journey, Cabbage. So we do not go through the prologue, it just goes straight to Chapter 1, Trauma. Auto skip. Excellent. Which one was this? Yes, blah blah blah. I already know. Just skip. It is literally just telling you how to skip. No, don't skip ahead. Yes, it is. Skip. Don't shake his hand. I am not going to be taking a lot of specific answers from the chat this time. This is going for a very, very specific playthrough this time. Skip. And we just make sure that this is text. Keep skipping. Yeah. He looks grumpy. This is talking about Maverick. I'd rather not. Really? I thought you wouldn't mind. Well, maybe next time. Looks like your PDA is good, by the way, so we're just about done. We're done that. What's the choice here? Did you give it to her? No, we did not. Me neither. I mean, if we're going to give them our body, let's not do it for free, right? Sure. Okay. I might as well skip ahead this part. Just do it. This was suicide. No way. He's already dead? How so? That seems pretty unlikely. The perpetrator was unusually large or small. Angles look a bit strange. They were done from an unusual position. Is it possible that they're inflicted by a person who is much larger or smaller person than him? No, I don't think that's it. They're inflicted with a sharp implement. It gets better, Justin. There are clean cuts, like from a knife or another sharp instrument. That's true, but why does it matter? It tells us it was suicide. I thought we ruled that one out already. It doesn't actually. You don't think the murder weapon matters? Dragons don't use knives, actually do. Mostly by those who have proper hands to use them, but still. Yeah, it could not have been Reza. Reza had a gun, why would he use a knife now? Right, the weapon he was using on Maverick was called a gun, right? Yeah. What strange contraptions. Well, sorry by the way, Seawolves, we did kind of skip the intro where Maverick did get shot again. And this is the first murder that Reza killed. I could have had a reason to use a knife over a gun if it was him. Can you think of any? You wouldn't, because this was clearly suicide. Alright, I get it, you think it was suicide. But I think we should explore other options. It makes him look cooler. No, just no. He wouldn't, because it wasn't him. There was clearly no reason why he would, so it couldn't have been him at all. This is too true with modern FBI investigation. This is suicide. Yes, it is suicide. I'll have to disagree with you on that. He lost his gun. It's possible we've already searched the perimeter. He didn't find anything. He didn't want to make noise. After all, he ran away from Maverick, trying to hide from the police. Something as loud as a gunshot would have easily given away his position and alerted others to the area. Right, that is a good reason. By the way, which of these wounds was the lethal one? The one on his wings. He's got quite a few there, so that must be them. No, there's not really much blood loss from those. Those are actually defensive wounds, which usually inflicted when someone tries to defend themselves from these kinds of attacks. The ones on his chest. Those gashes on his chest look rather large. I think it was them. Actually, no. These wounds would come from slashing motion, which they may have ended up, which the wound may end up looking big, but the damage is comparatively superficial. Of course, they may contribute to the blood loss, but they aren't lethal so quickly. Hi, Jason. I hope you're enjoying at least stream and this. And you missed some of the choices here, so you should rewind this a little bit later because the choices are just fantastic. So the one on his neck. That's right, if all the blood was given away from the stab wound characterized by the rather small footprints, you can tell it's also the deepest one. And from the location, it's pretty obvious. This must have done tremendous damage. What else do you see? Well, there's a lot of blood. He committed suicide. Just stop it already! This isn't blood. You sure? Nope, it's blood alright. He was a hemophiliac. There's so much blood, could he have been a hemophiliac? It is a lot of blood, I'll give you that, but I don't think this has anything to do with hemophilia. He has AIDS. Had what? He was dragged here after he died. Well, there's no blood anywhere else in the vicinity. That would suggest that, unless the perpetrator had the time to clean up some of it, blood suggests that he died here. That's true. Objection! Excuse me. Sorry, I always wanted to say that. Go on, please. I see, Wolves. You missed that this was definitely suicide. Definitely suicide. Okay, so I can't say that it's suicide. He had a bloody steak for dinner. And have blood from it still stuck to his teeth. Who knows how long after? I don't think so. He had gum disease. Possible, but unlikely. He is a vampire. Don't be silly. He bit his tongue during the fight. It is actually a very real possibility. We probably would be seeing more blood if that was the case, though. He fought back. It might be the perpetrator's blood. That's true, and I expect forensics took a sample of it, so it might actually help us determine. I think that's about everything. Maybe this isn't your strong suit. Told you so. Don't worry about it. We'll still need help from the other things. Let's just skip ahead. Well, go away. Sorry, I call you by your name, but you never actually told it to me. It's Cabbage. What are you even doing here? Working for police? No, just a hobby. Oh, you. To be fair, I might as well have gotten shot. Okay, let's start with Remy. Told you so! He told me to meet him in here. It was... Oh yes, I like this music. This is, can't remember what it was. Not Judgment. It was sold by Kringles. It's gonna bug me now. Let me just look this up in my Steam library. I don't think this is Chronos. This might be Chronos or Gravity. I think this is Gravity. From the quite spacious building lined with many bookcases on the floors, from the looks of it, it seemed that there was, it seemed to be as much of an archive as it was a library, with immaculate order permeating the chamber. It was the kind of place I could see myself getting lost in for an afternoon or two, thumbing through all the interesting books it could offer me. I was looking around in wonder when suddenly a voice penetrated the silence. Remy! I couldn't see who the voice belonged to, but it came from a more private area in the back. It was followed by footsteps that approached it. Oh, you're still here? Of course I am still here. I have business to attend to. Certainly, I just assumed you'd be done by now, Emra. Guess your assumption was wrong then. Be a good boy and bring me some coffee, will you? Of course, Emra. I heard more movement, though I still could not see either of the two who spoke behind all the bookcases. I assumed the area was off-limit to a visitor like myself and decided to wait. Here you go. Now, let me read in peace, you silly boy. Of course. I heard him walking towards my direction until he emerged behind a bookcase and spotted me. Oh, hello, Cabbage. I didn't expect you so soon. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have come after all. Well, I'm glad to see you again at any rate. Who was that back there? I guess you heard that, didn't you? That was my superior. She's the Minister of Culture and Arts, which means I'm technically in her employment. Though generally speaking, I work for the council at large, not just her. So this is where you work, huh? Most of the time, yes. That makes you a librarian, I suppose. There is a little more to it. I'm not just in charge of books, I'm a scholar and study of them too. For example, if the council requests knowledge on certain topics like facts, statistics, and other information of interest, it is my part of the job to research it and present it to them in an appropriate manner. So you're, gives me a headache. I suppose it's a good thing that I'm the one who works here, not you. Anyway, was there a particular reason you wanted to come meet me? I was bored, seem to have... I'll just take that as a compliment. Okay, it almost feels like it's hard to insult this guy now. Either way, now that you're here, could you help me with something? I've got books that need to be sorted here. Respectfully decline. Are you sure this could take a while? I don't want to keep you waiting. I'm sure. In that case, you should probably wait outside. I don't think the staff would approve of you loitering in the library. I will. I waited outside for the dragon to finish his work, and time passed by reading a book I had brought from my apartment. When I finished the book and the dragon still hadn't appeared, I grew impatient and tried to return inside to check up on him, only to find that the door to the library had been locked. When I looked up, I realized all the lights had been turned off, as well and the library, no doubt, closed for the day. I was not sure whether he left me waiting on purpose or had forgotten about me while he finished his work. Either way, it seemed like a sign he wouldn't meet me again. Right, now, what the? You're kidding. My game crashed. I guess the game did not like me being rude. I don't blame it. Let's see how quick I can get back to this. Alright, see ya, sea wolves. Alright, how far back did that set me? That was, autos... empty slot? What? I'm sure. Okay, so it did not count us as having read that. Alright. We now want to meet with Bryce, might as well. Thanks, Seawolves. Once again, I found myself within the police department, which seemed oddly quiet for this time of day. It didn't take me long to spot Bryce in his office. Hey, Cabbage, what's up? Nothing much, but he told me to contact you if I could remember anything that might help with this investigation. That's right, what do you have for me? I'm not sure if it's worth mentioning, but I have known Reza for a couple of years, so I know something about some things about his personality. I see. Well, that's actually more helpful than you might think. Mannerisms, habits, all that kind of thing would be useful to add to his profile and get a better idea of him. You know, I'm just about done here for the day, but if you want to discuss it over a beer or something, I'd be more than happy. I don't usually drink, though. That's fine, you don't have to. Or maybe we'll find something you like. Press him about wanting to go to the bar. Actually, I find it worrisome that the chief of police prefers to get drunk instead of hearing important information about the case. You're quite right. In my own free time, I do prefer to get drunk instead of dealing with work. If you find that worrisome, maybe you should try out my job sometime. I can't do that card. Right, kiddo, that's enough. You better go now before you make me really mad. I might not be the wisest person that ever lived, but if I knew one thing, it was that getting on a dragon's bad side was not a good idea. According to his wishes, I left wondering what went wrong between us. I just wanted to help, and that's how he showed his gratitude? I could certainly live without Bryce from now on, then. Alright, I believe we also missed an achievement. Load, probably this one. Nope, that wasn't it. Guessing about wanting to go to the bar. Not what I meant. Are you coming or not? I'd rather not. In that case, you can say whatever it is you have to say to someone else tomorrow, alright? Sure. Now please, excuse me before I miss happy hour. That should give us Teetotaler. The meeting with Bryce ended before I'd even had a chance to pick up. How could that be? Was it my mistake? Or maybe our personalities just weren't compatible? Of course, not having a drunkard as a friend wasn't too bad of an outcome. Yes, alright, that was the achievement. You have rejected Bryce's invitation. Without being rude. Alright, conflict. That's great. Yeah. You've already told me this, system. You've literally already told me that. Without being as annoying either. Hey, Cabbage, don't worry, I'm not here to talk like last time. This is strictly business. Well, what is it? Just some good old-fashioned police work, and we're counting on your help again. You shouldn't need to actually answer anything this time, Justin. By the way, I just want to mention that you can hit tab to bring up the skip mode here. It will automatically stop whenever there is a new text line that you have not seen before. So if you see me basically skipping, pausing, that's because literally it's a new line of text. I'm not really in the mood to look at corpses today. Yeah, I was using something I kind of missed it. Alright, I'm missing a lot of text here. Don't worry, we have something else planned. You've obtained a list of places Reza visited in the days before he vanished. I'll check those out, maybe find a lead, and you might help us understand his motives or give us some context to his actions. I can certainly try. Don't worry, we don't expect too much from you. That is reassuring. Are you ready to go? Sure, let's go. Okay, now we can skip ahead. I just like all kinds of stairs. Period. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think that was Reza. He did not want to be recognized. It could have been anyone, really. Technically yes, but it's unlikely that someone who lived here would resort to stealing a generator, when they could easily, really, we haven't seen this one? Someone around here. How about Reza? I can't deny the fact that your generators are pretty important to us. We should have already said that. Maybe it was a dragon in disguise. Judging by the person's mannerism, posture, and speed, I'd say no. None of our kind moves like that. Are we sure we saw him running away? Now you're grasping at straws, cabbage. You're starting to huge misunderstanding. Let's put this into perspective. We found 2 corpses so far. Reza's the prime suspect, and you think all he needs is someone to talk to him? Sorry if I'm gonna, but I'll be going with a no on that one. Maybe we should just focus on finding him and point fingers later. Agreed. The police team should be here any minute now. You don't have to get involved with the search, but that doesn't mean you can't help us out. What do you want me to do? We still have a list of places we're going to check out, remember? We can't go home now. The search takes priority. Must be really interested. How about noon? I figured you'd want to help find Reza, but I suppose I can't make you. Here's the list in case you change your mind. Considering your status, you shouldn't have any trouble. Yeah, we didn't talk to that. Atsu Park. Atsu Park. Here I am. I don't know what I'm even looking for, though. Search the shrubbery. Yes, this sort of won't look strange or suspicious. Here we go. Found some dirt. There doesn't seem to be anything else here. Archaeologist, stop searching the park. There is more here, by the way, but I'm not gonna do that yet. I don't think I'll find anything else here. Get some well-deserved rest. I was done for the day and went to my apartment to relax a few hours until the afternoon sun went low in the sky, and I decided it was time to report my findings to the police. A brief call to the department, and I was on my way to an appointment with Sebastian. No, don't skip ahead, just in case. Thank you. Okay, then start talking. You wouldn't understand. I would never do such a thing. He should have given up hours ago. That's just how he is. Once he has his mind set on something, he sees it through to the end. That's why he's our chief. He gets things done. At this rate, it doesn't look like we'll find him today. He could be anywhere, long gone, beyond our reach. What do you think? We'll never find him. What makes you think that? He's escaped twice now. Each time he managed to get away without any trouble. I just feel like if we hadn't found him by now, we won't do so anytime soon either. Reza knows what he's doing. Don't give up just like that. I don't think you quite understand what you're dealing with. But you do. That's why we asked for your help. I know, but to be honest, I'm not sure if I can be much help to you at all. You just have to keep trying. At least that's what they told me in the police academy. In our line of work, there can be a lot of situations that seem hopeless, but the one thing you can't do is just give up. You can go over some of the facts, the evidence does sometimes, and still miss something. Focus and keep trying, and you'll eventually find something new. If you're sure there's something else to be found, or you feel like it's not worth it, or you just think it's hopeless, there's always something you can do to help. As long as you don't give up, there's still a chance to solve the case, however small it may be. you know, maybe it's that small chance that makes the difference in the end. Don't give up, Cabbage, because quite frankly, you're the best chance we have. I wonder what will happen to our trade agreement now that... Yep, skip. Say nothing. There isn't much information to glean from what you told me. The rest of the police force and I will check things out ourselves, see if there's things more detail. In any case, thanks for your help. We really do appreciate it. You're welcome. Anything else? Then, since Bryce hasn't come back yet, skip. Wow. Alright. Let's see what the status is. Remy is bad. Bryce is bad. We've got the met with Amelie and Blood. So let's meet with Lorem. Because he wanted to meet with us, if we remember the first stream and all. To the board, Bar and Lorem suggested. Yeah, I know. Don't want to skip ahead. As you wish. Almost didn't like him, anyways. I'm glad you did. Kind of surprised you wanted to meet. Are you coming here? Something serious. Hi, Justin. Yeah. But this is serious. Video games and computers are just starting to catch the places like this town. Maybe making good content would be very important to give a good first impression. Humans have always been part of our media skip. Yes, we can. Can't help but feel a little deceived by this. Sorry, Lorem. Besides, your job must be really stressful and you're probably already in the spotlight all the time, and now on top of it, you got some postman harassing you for an interview. If you wanted to leave, I'd get that. Leave. Well, this was a waste of time. Sorry, I won't bother you again. Poor Lorem. I feel so bad for Lorem. I hope so. Without another word, I got up from our table and left. Poor Lorem. Nothing going on for today, I can do whatever I want. Let's order some lunch. Yes, like I said, this is a very specific ending, and you cannot actually even get this ending on the first run. You have to do at least one other run first. And there was also a reason I did the other run first. Well, a few reasons. I remember that Adine had told me about the cafe did deliveries as well, and not anything else better to do. I figured that I should try it out. I made my order with a quick phone call, and it wasn't even long before the doorbell rang. Oh, that was quick. It just so happened that Adine herself stood in the doorway, dripping wet, with a very damp container in her. There she is. Oh, it's you again. At least you haven't reduced me to my species anymore. I do remember your name though. It was Cabbage, right? That's right. Here's your order. Here's a question. Is Cabbage eating another cabbage cannibalism? Here's your order. Sorry I got a little wet, but it should be okay. Well, thanks for the... did you fall in a river or something? It's raining pretty heavily outside, that's all. Well, thanks for the food. I was just about to close the door in her face when she suddenly spoke up. Wait, what is it? Those eyes again. Do you think I could come in for a few minutes? It's raining pretty heavily outside. And this was my last delivery for the day. I actually live on the other side of town. And I don't really want to fly back in the rain. This isn't a homeless shelter? Okay guys, I do have to ask, which one is more rude? Close the door, or this isn't a homeless shelter? I'm also just gonna roll my dice for this one. I've never actually done this one before. And one of the reasons I wanted to get this one out of the way is because of how rude you have to be. It's just literally rude. This is almost basically a secret ending if, because you basically just don't want to be rude at all. I will give this a minute or two, and then my dice have picked an answer for me. Oh, my dice say to close the door. Without another word, I closed the door with nothing now separating me from the delights of the slightly soggy food before me. I opened my container in anticipation, but what I found inside wasn't at all what I was expecting. It was noodles with chicken and some sort of sauce. The problem was I hadn't ordered noodles. I rushed to the door, wondering what had gone wrong and what I had done to deserve this, but it was too late. Adine was already gone. What did I do to deserve this? Pride. Alright, so the stream is going on for a fair bit now. I will just need to... What's the last question here? Cabbage, I've got some really bad news. Okay, let's save right here. Yes. Right, so I'm going to be pausing right here. We are about halfway into the second ending already. And this is actually going surprisingly fast. It will slow down again for the next few endings, and that is based on what choices we want to make in between the static, look at the body, whatever, blah blah blah. But yeah, this one is just going by fast because it is a very specific ending, and you do not have to do a lot of talking besides telling him it was suicide, I tell ya. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and if you do not like the second ending here in the end, I actually don't blame you. That's why I'm getting it out of the way now. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and let's put on the stats for now. Oh wow, poor Lorem. And Adine, she actually just does not look that impressed right now. But Anna, I'm actually surprised that she's even still showing up here. Yeah, I will have to really just open this up before we continue on. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys again next time. Oh, and there will be Final Fantasy VII tomorrow. More Angels with Scaly Wings next week.